Right, today I'll be taking you through just some of the little small upgrades I'll be making to the Durston Xmid 2. These are my own little upgrades. Obviously there's lots of people out there that've got their own upgrades, but this is just something I want to add to it because I've noticed that some things just didn't feel right. Right, like I said, just a few little upgrades that I'll be doing next to this lovely tower. As you can see, it's still quite windy, my hair's all over the shop, and some stupid little sods had a nasty little fire here, so I ain't too chuffed about that. But for now, let's do some upgrades on the Durston Xmid 2. So in previous videos you've seen the specs of everything. Now I just want to upgrade mine a little bit, so I figure I'll bring you along with me. So I've got the original 8 pegs, but I've just added another 4 with it just for extra guidelines. Same poles as before, no different. Lecky lights, do like these. Now this is just going to be some simple upgrades. I've had a delivery this morning from 3FUL, you can see that. And this is their guy line cord. So all I'm going to do, it comes in at, it's 1.5 or 1.8 mil, and it is 20 meters long. Bearing in mind I got this off of AliExpress. I didn't get it off 3FUL because they've actually got a store on AliExpress. I think this cost me about 6 quid or 7 quid, another couple of quid delivery. So we'll start off with the little tie out just down here, which is where the door comes out to as well, but you'll see that in a minute. And there's also a tie out halfway up on both sides. So we'll tie them out, and also we'll tie out the ones that actually come with the Durston. Now I'm actually very close to a wall here, but this is only going to need a short one down here, and that will pin straight to the floor. And I'll show you how the door will be once it's pinned to the floor. Extremely short. I'm only going to put about that much in, just so I can stretch it out if need be. But otherwise, if I want to pin it so close to the ground, I want to batten down the hatches, I'm going to put it straight through the actual hole anyway. So if I'm going to put it straight in the hole, I could just put it down like that, but that will then touch the inner. So that's my worry, and it was the last time I was out. So I only want a short bit for the sides. We'll put that on now. Now usually I tart this up a little bit by giving a little burn to the string or cutting it shorter so it's nice and tight. But for now, it does the same effect, makes it nice and taut, but doesn't bring it down as much that it's going to touch the inner. Now we're going to add one to this one. Now I'll be adding about 1.5 meters to this one, and I may even put a stick here and then tether it down. Also, when you do get these Airmats guy lines, they also come with your little attachment to tether to make it nice and firm and strong. But I'm not going to use them today. I'm just going to tie a knot and stick it in. So if you tie a nice knot, nice little loop, it's going to be nice and easy. You can detach it and put it on another tent later on in the time. That way you can sell it as you bought it without all the extra guy lines. Right, I'm going to go and find a stick to put here, wrap it round, bring it out so this lifts up off of the inner. Thank God I'm next to a wood, eh? Got to remember that obviously everybody's got their own way of doing things. This is just a quick, easy way for me to do it. So after pinning that one out, obviously using the stick, bearing in mind I'm very close to a wall, I'm now going to make all this side nice and taut. As you can see, nice and taut, still a little bit of wind in the air, but it seems okay to me. Now I would do exactly the same on the other side. I'm also going to do this one here. Optionally, you can put the stick in, but I'm not going to on this one. We'll just pin it in. If you're going to make any adjustments, you've got to remember that you're going to have to go around the whole tent again, make it nice and taut. Now I've pinned that side out and that side, we'll now make it nice and taut again. Right, now you can see how taut it is. Now this is the Xmid 2P solid, or 2-person solid. Now I'll show you the inside so you can see that gap between this point and the inner fly sheet. Also, once it is taut, this is how the door should look eventually. Now here's the gap between, after pulling it nice and taut. It is still Not massive, it's about 2-3 inches. But let's see what happens when I lower that down. So just in case you're going to have heavy rainfall, you've got a good 6-inch gap, good 7-inch gap between it. That's just by lowering that cord up there. Now it's starting to rain. So just had a little bit of rainfall up here. Obviously it's windy, you can hear it, you can see it. But I haven't pinned out the bottom of this one yet, so I'm going to pin that one out now. Now, as I said before, the tent is completely isometric. It's exactly the same one side as it is the other. So wherever you put the guide irons on one side, you can put it on exactly the same the other. I ain't going to go through it all, but you can. Same with the small little peg out positions. There's one here, so if I wanted to make it tight here, making it nice and low to the ground. Obviously I haven't done it on the other side, but you can see I'll probably put some string on there again using the 3FUL cord. Again, I don't want it completely out too far, just a small piece of cord just to wrap around the bottom. You can either use that or bungee. And if you get hands like me, you get that fiddly feeling in your hands, which is slightly uncomfortable, and I don't like it. And there you are, nice and tight. Obviously I need to pan out this side a little bit more, but that is nice and tight in there. Right, the same goes for this side as what I did on that side, and a lot of other tents you can do this as well. It up a bit more, maybe get a taller stick. Obviously creating a lot more room within the inside between the inside fly and the external fly. But I'm not going to fully do it. As you can see, you can either stick them out to sticks and guide them out. The same with the two bottom ones as well. Now this is exactly the same on the other side, so there's no difference. Or you can take the sticks away and just have it as it is. And there are, that is without the sticks. Remember, it is still quite taut, but if you want the inside fly a lot further away, I would suggest sticking this one up or sticking a hiking pole in it, a stick, anything. That should be perfect. Now, as all trekking tents go, you kind of have to work your pitch out. So, see, I'm going down a slight slope here. So I've had to pin it out via a stick again, and then obviously drag it down the hill. But it still does the same effect. Now, my personal opinion on the Durston Xmid is, again, this was a tent that where YouTubers have blown it up out of proportion. For the UK weather, it ain't a brilliant tent. It's not amazing, and I've always said I'll be honest. So, like I said, I do like the tent. It is a cool tent. Unlike the graffiti, which ain't so cool. But, like I said, it's a good tent. They are trekking worthy, and I've got the P1 as well. But as for this being a brilliant tent, I'd stick with your Lanchans, to be honest. Would I say upgrade? Only if you fancy a big vestibule. But I don't think they're amazing. I will say they are good, and as you can see the wind or hear the wind, it is still a good tent. Like I said, an amazing tent. I just can't fall into line on this one. Yes, the weight is brilliant and the weight's up there, but I can pick a fault with everything. And with this tent, it ain't the best, but it is a good hiking tent. If you want to buy one, get one. Just one more other little hack. So I'm going to be doing this later at a later time. So as you can see, I've got my hiking pole a little bit too far out. In fact, it's at a different degree. What you can do is undo these and put them about another inch in. If you do that, you will get a nice inner squared out the way you want it. At the moment, they're a bit baggy, and that obviously makes you slide around on the inside. So just chop it in about an inch, inch and a half, and you'll have it nice and firm. Alright, that's all I'm going to say for the upgrades. It's just a case of just guidelining it out, making it stronger, firmer, seeing if it can withstand a storm. Like I said, when the external touches the internal, release the top so it's not, and then tighten out, batten down, batten down, batten down. If you can get used to the internal of this tent, as in with its little skew whiff angle, it's great. Like I said, everything's isometric, so it's all the same as what it is on the other side. It's just, can you get to like it? I'm going to be taking this on my next hike, but I just don't know. I've got pretty used to using the tarps now when I go on my hikes, because it's just easier, quicker and convenient. But then again, you do have to think about storms coming in, and you do need to batten down sometimes. Yeah, but that's it for this video. It was just a nice short one, just throwing it out there. And like I said, if you need some guy rope, 3FUL on AliExpress, it's really cheap. I'm not big in AliExpress rope, it's just that everything in the UK is so expensive. You'd be surprised, but the tripod that I'm using now I got off TikTok. Right, we're going to pack up now anyway. I've got the P1 and the P2 version. I'm not going to show you the same on the P1, but what I am going to do is, I haven't done my upgrades on my Shell 2 yet, so I'll be doing them, because I can't wait to see what the upgrades are like on the Shell 2, because there's some stuff that you can do to make that tent absolutely awesome. Anyway, that's it. Right, there is some other little hacks which are absolutely wicked, and I'll leave the names up here to the lads that told me about them. Now, I've always been one of these that I love a 2-skin tent, and the simple fact is, so you can use your external fly as a tarp. You can use the external fly of this as a tarp, but also when you want to pack up and put them in your Bergen, put the external tarp into one bag, the internal into another bag. That way you can put the external up first. When it's chucking down with rain, you can jump inside, get your kit out and put the internal in. That will save the inside getting absolutely soaked. And it's just one of those things that I like doing. I don't do it very often, because every time we go out, the weather seems to be fantastic. Except for the Pennine Way. Thank you very much.
Laugh at Mother Nature with me. Ha ha!
But yeah, splitting it up, putting it into 2 bags is what a lot of people do when you've got a 2-skin tent. Right, that's me done. I'm going to leave you with a little video of the P1 from when I camped up here a few weeks ago on my own. Put it up there and just enjoyed it.